Hey everybody, I have my lower denture out because I'm going to show you how to apply DentureFit to your lower dentures. So my dentures are clean. These are my virgin dentures. There's nothing in them. They are clean, 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 clean. They are so loose. It's really hard to describe, but they are like 2 sizes too big now because I've had a lot of shrinkage. So they bounce around, they won't seat, they're just really big. I can put my fingernail up inside the back by my, I can see my tongue back there. There's just a really big gap in there. They're really big, just due to shrinkage. So these are my immediates, and DentureFit has been an amazing product for me. It has saved my frustration levels from going through the roof. It's amazing. It's worked wonders with my dentures. So I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna dry them. The reason I do a lot of stuff on my bottom dentures is because it's easier for me to talk with my top dentures in. So I'm just drying them really, really good. My dentures are made in alternative material through Russell Klein, which is Keradent. So if you have an alternative material, it's important for you to use anchor points, which means you don't put the primer that it comes with all over the denture. So, DentureFit, it says for the top, for the upper, but you can do it on the lower too. There's a lot of upper information out there, but there's not a ton of lower information out there. So it comes with a bottle of primer. It comes with 2 applicators. It comes with 2 tubes of DentureFit and a really great instruction page. A lot of the lower application information is found online or through their Facebook, their YouTube, or on their website. Their customer service is also extremely great. So you could call them and they could give you all the information if you had questions or just talk to them. They're really, really awesome about it. So if you had just a normal standard set of acrylic dentures from your dentist that the lab made, you'd know if you had a flexible material or partial or something. That's usually something that's special. So this is methylene chloride, and it's the primer. It's what sticks to your denture to get your the silicone to stick. So you would dunk it in, just a quick dip like that, just quick, and it'll puff up, and you want to put the lid back on. And you would, and this is for standard denture, you would put it all around the edge, all around the ridge here, everywhere, and then all the way on the inside, all the little nooks and crannies, everywhere on the inside, everywhere you want your DentureFit to stick. So you would put it all in here, just cover it all everywhere. And it's okay to get it on the ledge, get it all the way around. That's what creates a good seal with it, so it doesn't lift on the corners. If you're like me, sorry, it's really hot in here. If you're like me and you have an alternative material, you're going to use anchor points. So what that means is I'm going to do the primer, and I'm going to just dip it in real quick. As you see, it got real puffy. I'm going to put the lid back on. You don't want to leave it sitting out. So for me, I'm going to do anchor points right here, right here, right in the center, and then all around the edge. I want to make sure to get all, and I just put my finger on it, and I will do all around the edge to make sure that I get everywhere to create a really good seal. So make sure to get the back real good. Make sure that it's all around to get a good seal. So I do all the ridges everywhere, right in the middle. Just make sure you get it good and dry, or I mean good and covered. And then you let that sit for 2 minutes. So With the way that DentureFit works is it's a two-part silicone that comes in a tube like this. It mixes in here, and so you can watch it mix through the tip of the tube to come out here. Don't activate the silicone until you're ready, because it is time sensitive. It'll start setting up, and then it would block the tube if you're not ready. And you can open it up. You can screw it off. If you don't use the whole thing and the tip gets plugged up, you can just take it off and squirt it out on a piece of plastic and mix it up with a little spatula or Q-tip or whatever, and then just spatula it in for maintenance, but I'll get to that later. So I'm letting the primer dry and do its thing. If you have a standard denture, you want to put it all in there. If you have an alternative material denture, you want to use the anchor points. Those are really, really great. I called customer service and talked to them about it, and they were fantastic about giving me extra information, telling me exactly what I needed to do with anchor points. And what happens is it over anchors to your denture if you have an alternative material like Keratin that's a plastic. It just sticks really good. It's not impossible to get off, it's just time consuming and can be a little frustrating. So don't, know what your dentures are made of, and make sure that you're educated in what they're made of, what you can and can't do if you're going to avoid a warranty. If you're in between relines and stuff like that, this stuff is amazing. It's so good. I don't have a reline option. I mean, I do. I can go to my dentist and get them done, but it costs a lot. So I like the DentureFit because I can do it at home, and it's a lot easier to work with. So it's ready. So you'll see an arrow here. That's going to activate the tube. It's going to open it up, and you're going to hear a click. Click. That means it's ready to pump. So what you would do is you would take your denture, and remember I did my anchor points, so you're going to see it mix up in the tube. You can see it start to come down. Maybe. I don't think I was pushing hard enough. So you're going to see it start to come out. See it coming out of there? And you're just going to go all the way around. And it doesn't matter, if you get it kind of messy or whatever, it's totally fine. So I know that for me, I need it more in here. I try to get the back, and you can squish it around with the tip of the applicator. It's totally fine, just to get it in there really, really good. Totally fine. Squish it in there, make sure that it's good. I know that if I put too much in front, I'm gonna get a little bit of excess, and that's okay too. But if you're doing this on top, you would want to just put the whole applicator in there. So there you go. It's all in there, and that's what it looks like. So at this point in time right now, it's still kind of gooey, and sometimes I'll just run my finger around it just to make sure that I've got it pretty even in there. It's okay if it sticks to you, no problem. If it sticks on your denture, that's no problem either. It peels right off on the parts that don't have the primer. So it's on there really, really good. So now what you want to do is you don't want to bite down hard. Don't bite down hard. So for the tops, I tell you take your thumb and your forefinger and stick it up. For the bottom, 2 fingers. Press down lightly on your back teeth. And then check your bite. And it's okay to bite down just a little bit. Make sure it's comfortable. Wiggle it in front. Make sure it's not sitting too far. You're going to feel a little bit of excess squish out if you put, a considerable amount in there, and that's okay. So right at this point, make sure you can smile comfortably, and you can kiss comfortably. They call it the kiss and smile. So it tells you to let it sit for 4 minutes. On the paper here, it's to tell you to let the primer sit for 2 minutes and dry, and then to twist the wing tabs on your applicator. Apply the entire applicator of silicone to your denture, and then seat the denture. Insert the denture into your mouth. Hold it for 30 seconds. So for me, on your bottom, If you're going to do it on your bottoms, just hold your bite. You want to do that for 30 seconds. Make sure that you're holding your bite and that it's seating right. You want to make sure that it's comfortable and that you can talk. You want to make sure to have your opposing denture in. Make sure you can talk. Make sure that it's comfy in there and it's not too, sorry, it's super hot in here. I'm like burning up. Just make sure that it's sitting right. You don't want to bite down super hard because it's going to squish it all out of there, and you don't want to squish it all out. But bite down, kiss and smile. Make sure it's comfy. It takes about 4 minutes for it to set up in your mouth. So I will do one on the tops later just so that you guys can see what that entails. But really, it's very easy to use. If you have excess, you can just trim it off with this. Make sure to pull away from the denture, not up, because it'll lift it. If it hasn't been seated for a good half an hour, it'll lift it up. And you don't want to like lift it out. The primer is really easy to use. You don't need a lot of it. You just need a little bit. The amount I used would have done my whole denture, no problem. You want to follow the directions. If you have questions or something's not working for you, go ahead and call their customer service. They have like the best customer service. They will answer any questions. They will give you any advice that they have. They're super knowledgeable about dentures, about all kinds of stuff, especially their product. So it's super great. And I'm going to tell you right now that if I didn't have DentureFit, I don't know what I would do. I would be in a really bad situation to where my dentures actually just weren't wearable because they're so big right now. And that's not because the dentures are bad. It just means that I'm healing really fast. So I've got this quick healing process going on, and it's changing the way that my dentures are fitting. So I'm so thankful that I have DentureFit because I really don't know what I would do without it. So this is awesome. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. I know I have excess, and that's totally okay. I put a lot in there so you guys could see. So see the excess right here? I'm going to trim that off, but it's seated really, really, really nice in there. See how it's all molded specifically to my gums? And that is awesome. So if you have excess, you can take your little cuticle trimmer like this and just make sure to cut away from the denture. So you want to just snip it and pull away from it. Don't pull too hard, but it'll separate from itself. And you can do little pieces if you want, no problem. I usually just get down in there with my light or whatever I'm trying to do it to where you guys can see it. But just make sure not to cut too far down in because then you'll start lifting it out. So I'll just cut this chunk off right now and just pull away from it if you're going to pull it off, just that way. That way then you won't, you know, be pulling it out. So I know I've got a couple other little areas back here that have a little bit of excess. So just, you know, if you're not sure, wait 20 minutes or so till it's totally cured, and then start doing trimming your excess off. That's totally fine. You can just let it sit and do its thing. But I just go along the edge of the denture and make sure that it's all off of there. You just want to make sure to do a clean cut and make sure that you've, you know, not pulled on it, because if you pull on it, it's definitely going to lift it. So normally I don't put this much in, but I wanted to show you guys what it was like. Just if you do have excess, it'll go around the back edge or whatever, and that's totally fine. Get, you know, a good cuts in there. Get some sharp cuticle trimmers. It's good to get a new set for this type of stuff. So I just pulled it right off just like that. And there you have it. It is clean, comfortable. If you're like me and you have new extractions, you would want to, so you can kind of tell on this very back edge right here, there's like a little nub, and that's from an extraction site. So I just go in there and I just clip off the tip of it so that my my extraction sites still have room to grow. It's not causing me any pain or dipping down in there or being uncomfortable or anything. So it's really important to make sure that you clip those off. So I just went around the edge, so you can see a couple little edges right in here. And I'm going to clip that off, make sure that it's even. If it's not totally even, it's totally okay. If it's not bugging you, you don't have to worry about it. But getting that edge is kind of good. Just making sure that it keeps the seal. It's all in there. It's all really clean. And there you have it. That is my lower denture DensureFit. And it is perfect. So that's it. Custom fit to me. It will not come out now. It will not pop out if I open my mouth. They're perfect. So that's putting DentureFit on your lower dentures. If by chance you need to, if you didn't use the whole tube, it'll get plugged up in here. There's nothing you can do about that really. I mean, if you want to try to pick it out, got lots of extra time on your hands, you can open it up. There's the two products right there. Squeeze it out on, I use a Ziploc baggie, and just right on the top of it, I'll squeeze it out, and I'll take my little cuticle spatula. You can use a Q-tip, anything that's clean, stir it up, mix it up real good, make sure it's really good mixed up, and then you can just spatula it off and put it in there if you need to, so you don't waste the product that's left in the tube. That's kind of cool that you can use it, that it's not a waste if you don't use the whole thing, because if you know you only need a half a tube, you've got extra for maintenance. So if you're going to do maintenance on your bottoms and you have extra left over, you would make sure that they're clean and dry, and you don't need any more primer. You would just take the extra or in the new tube and you would put it on top of the silicone and go about the same route that you did the first time. You don't need any primer because it sticks to itself. The silicone is self-adhering, so maintenance wise you don't need any extra primer unless you're putting it on a new area. So just remember that, and then you just put it in. You would put it in whatever area you need it in and follow the instructions again the same way if you're going to do the maintenance. And there is a really great section on fine-tuning and maintenance. So if the first time when you did it you didn't get enough in there, make sure that it's dry, make sure you have your opposing denture in. If you need to put more primer on, it's okay in a different area that never had primer to begin with. That's fine. Let it sit and dry. Apply more silicone to where you need it, and then put it in your mouth and adjust the proper position. So for me on the bottoms, when I'm doing the bite and doing the proper position, 2 fingers, you don't want to do it really hard, just seat it down in there. If you have to squish it in, that's okay, but don't bite down really, really hard, because that's just going to squish it out, and then they're not going to fit the way that they should. So down like that, smile, make sure your bite's right, make sure it's comfortable, push back, make sure that it's not too far forward or sitting upwards, make sure it's even and level and that it's in the right place. Medium pressure, just not a lot of pressure, medium pressure, that's the key. And just make sure that you assess the fit. If it's snug, then you're done. That's it. You're good to go. If you want to use adhesive on top of it, I've used powder adhesive before. I've used Secure Hold powder, and that worked really, really great for me. I also have used comfort lining. Comfort lining is fantastic for using with it. So if you just want to go the daily route, powder, the Polygrip Super Hold powder has been great for me. It works wonderful with DentureFit. The paste, the cream adhesives don't seem to adhere to the silicone very well. So if you found one that does, awesome. Let me know what it is. I heard Secure does and Secure doesn't, so I don't know. I don't have a tube of it, so I can't give an opinion on that. But I can give an opinion on the Polygrip powder. Works fantastic. And the comfort lining also works really, really great. So if you don't have any room in your denture though, you know, if the denture fits really snug in there and it's really tight and you've got good suction, comfort lining would be hard to put on top of it. So just remember that it is, you know, a thermoplastic and you have to put it on top of it to make sure that you have room. Otherwise you can just do the powder. which works really great for me. So this can stay on my denture for 3 months, and it really does stick. So if you want to just do the anchor points, great. If you have standard dentures, just make sure to apply it to your whole denture. For acrylic dentures, alternative material, just the anchor points. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and message me. I'll be happy to answer them, or if anybody needs to see anything else. But that's how you apply DentureFit to your lower dentures.